back to FFB from the 50. I'm your host, Dan Amsler, and I am here with Adam and Teresa. The 2023 fantasy season is wrapped up. We are here with our postseason award show, and the first category is going to be draft steals. So we're going to do it a little bit different this year. I'm going to nominate several different players at each position, and then Adam and Teresa are going to pick their pick out of those, unless they have another wild card that I didn't think of, for the draft steal of the year at the positions. You two ready?
Sure, let's go.
All right. So, first category is quarterback. And, Teresa, I need you to make sure you're putting your biases aside.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Because for draft steal, and keep in mind, draft steal is just somebody that has out-exceeded where we thought they would be based upon where they were drafted. You could have a draft steal where they were drafted in the third round, but they ended up producing first-round numbers. Conversely, you could have had a guy drafted in round number 13, but he ended up producing what should have been a fifth-round draft picks numbers. So it's relative where they were drafted to where they ended, but there were a lot of surprises this year. Quarterback is definitely one of them. Oh. So my first actual candidate that I would like to propose is Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was the overall number 2 quarterback in our leagues. Now keep in mind our leagues do award 6 points for a touchdown.
Which is the way it should be in all leagues, in
my
my honest opinion.
I agree, because touchdowns are worth 6 points.
Yeah.
So, Dak finished number 2. Okay? And if I said that he was less than 40 points behind, right around only 35 points behind Josh Allen, who is number 1, I mean, would you be surprised?
No.
Dak was taken... I mean, what rounds was Dak taken in our leagues and in yours? I mean, we're not talking super flexes.
Way late.
Yeah.
Way late.
In non-super flex leagues, I don't think he was taken before round 8 or 9 in any of our leagues.
No, he wasn't.
So, Dak is my first candidate. My second candidate is Jordan Love, who in a lot of our leagues didn't even get drafted.
Yep.
He finished the year at number 5. Brock Purdy. He was a quarterback that did get drafted, but he was typically drafted in the later rounds. Finished as QB number 6.
Okay.
Jared Goff, another guy who typically did get drafted, but very late in the drafts, was QB number 7. And CJ Stroud finished the season as number 11 and probably would have finished closer to the top 5 if he didn't miss those last few games with his injuries. So he finished number 11, which is still a QB1 in a 12-person league. Would have definitely been higher without the injuries. So those are my candidates. Dak, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, CJ Stroud. Who do you guys think should be the draft steal of the year at quarterback?
I'm thinking Brock Purdy.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because in our Dynasty League, which I know it's a hybrid league, it's totally different. I picked him up off of waivers after trading away Jalen Hurts. That's for another video.
Yep. And the crazy thing is Jalen Hurts was QB number 3. Purdy was, like I said, number 6. Not a whole lot of points that really separated them. People were really thinking Jalen Hurts was going to be the stud quarterback this year, and he just that Philly offense struggled, especially down the stretch.
Big time.
So what else you got?
I said Purdy. Well, I picked him off waivers, but if you probably look at a lot of leagues, was he drafted at all in any leagues? Like, I think in New Rensselaer, he wasn't drafted.
Yeah, he was not drafted in a lot of leagues I'm in.
And in our Ohio league, he was not drafted. I'm like, to go from not being drafted to what you said he was number 6, top 10,
It's definitely impressive. Okay, Adam?
Sorry, babe. I gotta go Dak Prescott. And I had him in one league where I had lost Justin Fields. And Dak Prescott, this was only an 8-team league, so there was plenty of talent, plenty of depth on waivers. And Dak Prescott at the time was available, and I was like, why not? I'll pick him up, and especially after his bye week. That was when he was throwing between 3 and 4 touchdowns a game sometimes. And he single-handedly, now granted, unfortunately, in that league I didn't make the playoffs, but I actually scored the most points in that league, and a lot of it was thanks to him. And he went undrafted. Like I said, I picked him up off waivers. He would be my quarterback draft steal.
Mm-hmm. And I think mine is also going to be Dak. And the reason that I give Dak the edge is there was in the new Rensselaer League, I actually started out with Jordan Love as my starting quarterback.
Yep,
Okay.
you did.
Played Brock Purdy for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I had to play Dak, and he remained my starter for the rest of the year. So the fact that Dak ascended above both Jordan Love and Brock Purdy, who were on my roster at different times, I mean, Dak was so good, he allowed me to actually drop Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to be pretty good in order for that to be the case. So for me, Dak Prescott was the biggest quarterback draft steal of the year.